Hello, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is your girl Mitzi, and this is Mitzi. Let's think about it. Today we are thinking about surrendering your pain, ladies and gentlemen. That is the thinker. So thankfully, I have Alicia here who's going to be helping us think about this in a whole new way. So thank you so much, Alicia, for coming onto my show, sharing your time and your perspective with me. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're with me, so I truly appreciate this. So let's dive right in. When you hear the word surrendering your pain, what does that make you think about?
I would say getting out of resistance and no longer thinking like something's wrong and has to be fixed and softening and like really feeling what you're feeling. Like that's what I would call surrendering. I know people get really confused, like, how do I surrender? Like, I understand that's going to help me, but like, I find it really hard. And it did take me a while in my journey of healing from depression for me to actually surrender. Like I had to max out on everything else first and realize that like that doesn't work. And it got to a point where I was actually like exhausted and just thought that nothing would work. And that's what kind of had me surrender. And it actually felt like giving up, if I'm being completely honest. But giving up and surrendering are two different things. But that's like just what it felt like for me to stop like trying so hard to fix myself.
Yeah, I love that because when you really think about surrendering your pain, you kind of have to have like this moment of just like, okay, I can't do this. You know what I mean? White flag. You know what I mean? Like something has to give and it has to do with me because there's nobody else but me in my head. You know what I'm saying? Like unless you have schizophrenia and you have multiple people, you know what? I'm not here to judge, but majority of us don't, you know? So we just are just dealing with a lot of things in our heads. And the one word that you said that really spoke to me was softening. That word right there, ladies and gentlemen, we do really need to soften our hearts, soften our perception, soften everything that's about us because man, we need to just realize it's okay. It's
Mhm.
relaxed. And you said there's a difference between surrendering and giving up.
Mhm.
Girl, I would like to know what you mean by that. I mean, I
Mhm.
know, but for the ones in the back that don't, what does it really mean for you?
Yeah. I would say giving up means like you've lost all hope and you think like it's just not possible to heal. And so you're like, why would I bother even trying? Surrendering is just like getting out of resistance. Like I'm just gonna like trust that I'm resourced and my body knows how to heal or I'll receive what I need. So I can just soften and receive and trust, you know? That's what I'd say the
Yeah.
difference is.
Yeah, most definitely. It's about trusting. Oh my goodness, most definitely. You got to trust in yourself again because yeah, when you give up, you can give up on the world, you can give up on everything, and then that's dangerous. You know what I mean? Because you can start getting reckless and then
Hmm.
you start not caring about anybody's life. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
You're driving down the highway 100 miles per hour, not caring who's in your way. You know what I'm saying? Like it can really get into a dangerous game when you completely give up. But when you surrender, you realize, you know what? There's some hope for me. You know what I mean? There's some hope out of this situation. I may not see it right now. I may not see it in the moment, but man, is there hope? So did it come to a point where you had to realize like you had to get vulnerable?
Yes. The whole time I was trying to heal from depression, I was not allowing myself to feel what I was feeling. So I really wasn't getting vulnerable. And it was only when I just completely surrendered, stopped trying so hard to heal, that I actually softened and felt what I was feeling more fully. So that's why that led to me healing. Because when I was in resistance or like always trying to like fix things or like even if I was doing healing work, like booking sessions with practitioners, I mean, you name it, I've probably tried every type of modality there is. I was doing it to make my pain go away. So I was still like in contraction and resistance. And so that's why like I wasn't really welcoming my emotions. I wasn't really softening. I wasn't being vulnerable, like you're saying. So that's why no matter what I tried wasn't working, even though I was trying some things that actually are really powerful that like I still use some of those modalities till this day. But back then like nothing was because the way you choose the modality matters. Like your body can tell the difference between unconditional and conditional love. And I think my body could tell like you're only like dropping in for a few minutes because you like just want this pain to go away. You don't actually like care to listen to me and like give me what I need.
Yeah, I think you said it beautifully because it's like when we don't listen to ourselves and we don't give ourselves the time, like our body knows, like our mind knows, like we know you lying, we know you putting up a front, we know this ain't true, honey. Like, get with the program. We have work to do. And you're like, no, 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 no. I'm trying to just numb it right now. I'll get to you when I get to you. Like, no, we need to do the work. And I also love how like you realize like some of these techniques you still use now to this day, but they weren't fully working for you back then. And it's like we have to realize our frame of mind, our perspective when we go into something, if we're not ready to fully shift our perspective in whatever that we're doing. It could be yoga, it could be meditation, it could be breath work, it could be taking a simple walk even, you know what I mean? Like, if we don't have the right frame of mind when we're doing it, we're not going to gain that clarity and that peace that comes out of it. You know what I mean? So it truly does put things into perspective to really think about, how am I really showing up? How am I really being honest? So I guess I have to ask you, Alicia, where do
Hmm.
you find your strength now?
Ooh, great question.
Gotta make you think about it. No.
I think it's because I am so sensitive that I literally can't live life the way that I used to or the way most people live, if that makes sense. Like I can't numb out and distract because it's unthinkably painful. Like, and I've just noticed that when I actually welcome what I'm feeling instead of resist it, I actually feel more peace. And when I resist it even a little bit, I am extremely uncomfortable. Or like if I'm just not honoring my body in some way, not listening, my body makes it very clear, like literally like screams at me, so uncomfortable. I kind of think of it like I'm a vampire, like you know how vampires feel everything like 100 times more deeply than humans. Like that's how I think of it. Like when I feel joy, it's like way more than other people, and when I feel sadness, like it's way deeper than other people. And so I think my strength comes from the fact that like I'm so sensitive that I can't live any other way. And now it's become a thing where I just it feels so good that it's like intrinsic motivation that I just want to do it. But I think that's what had me even have any interest at all in healing things that aren't serving me was just like this is so uncomfortable and that started it.
Oh, I love that. Oh, how I love that because that is so true. I feel like that's where I am now, where I was like, if I am lying to myself, myself would be like, "Excuse me, ma'am. We don't accept that back here anymore. We need you to fix this." And I'm just like, "Oh, okay, fine. Let me do this the right way." You know what I mean? It's like when you're making the bed and your mother yells at you for not doing it the right way, or you're supposed to be doing something a specific way and you didn't do it right, so you have to do it again. Like, I get what you're saying because man, sometimes just being so in tune spiritually, emotionally, everything about you, you realize like I have to stay aligned. Like I have to do this for myself because if not, I will hurt myself. If I'm not honest, I will just hurt myself. And I actually told my mom this because my mom was like, "Mitzi, why are you so harsh when you tell me certain things?" And I'm like, "Ma, if I don't say certain things in a certain way that brings me peace, it will hurt me, literally
Mhm.
hurt me. Like I would be stabbing myself because I didn't say in a way that brought me clarity and me peace. And at the end of the day, I got to live with me. You could walk away, feel however you feel, and go home. But at the end of the day, I got to live with me day up and day night. Like I have to figure out what's going on with me. And if this is how it brings me peace, then you have to respect it. And if it doesn't bring you peace, then that means there's something that you have to fix within yourself and that
Mhm.
you have to confront and do the hard work. And
Mhm.
people don't realize that. And I'll be telling her, like, that's a personal problem. You got to fix that. And you got to do something with all that. Like, but it's like for you, when did you really started seeing the benefits of surrendering your pain? Like, when did it become like real, like, oh, now I'm about to deep dive into this?
I mean, I saw it immediately.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
yeah, I definitely saw it immediately. But did I notice it in the moment? No. I didn't notice in the moment that my life was completely changing. But now that I look back, I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. Like
Right.
back when was first starting to surrender, I was working in the field as an engineer. And like I only took that job because I was trying to distract from my pain.
Mm.
Because I was like, okay, healing doesn't work. So I just have to distract. So then I just took this job where you work 12 to 16 hours a day in the field and you're like living in a camp with people. Like I was like, I don't want to be alone with my feelings. So that's the only reason I took this job. Like it wasn't a inspired action that I was meant to do. It was like just do this to distract, right? And so I was never meant to be there. And while I was there, that's when I started to surrender and like stop trying so hard to heal and things like that. And so then right away, my life started changing. Like I was pulled out of that job, brought back to the office, like without me having to do anything. And in the moment, I thought like I did something wrong. I'm like, why don't you guys want me here? Like I'm a great employee, you know? And then after I realized, oh, like I'm not aligned with this job. And the more that I heal, the more I'm not aligned with this job. And so that's why it just got taken away from me. And then I got moved into a position that was more aligned and like right away started feeling more lightness and joy and like everything started changing right away. I just didn't realize it at the time. Like I was so like, oh, this is wrong. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love that because some people don't realize like sometimes the life can just shift in a way where we feel like, oh my goodness, why like we can feel attacked, we can feel hurt, we feel vulnerable in a manner where we feel exposed, like how dare you or how dare they, you know what I mean? But in
Mhm.
reality, we don't realize like maybe this is protection, you know, maybe this is just guidance, maybe this is just a nudge because you were too far to the edge, you know what I mean? Like we
Mhm.
never know, but when we allow ourselves to like heal and continue healing and just continue walking like hey maybe I don't know it today but I'm going to continue forward. When you take that second to look back you realize you have that moment of reflection like realizing like wow maybe I was not meant to be in that position, maybe I needed to actually confront things, and that is something beautiful that a lot of people really don't acknowledge. So it's like if somebody's listening and they just want to know how to necessarily start surrendering their pain,
Mhm.
what advice would you give them?
Mhm. I would say bring more awareness to what you're feeling and experiencing instead of less. So every time you're triggered, like where do you feel it in your body? You could even rate it on a scale of 1 to 10, like anything that will get you to bring more awareness. And sometimes all I do is just notice where I feel it in my body. Like I normally feel everything in my stomach, but depending on the emotion, like if it's grief or something, you might feel it in your heart. Or like if you're really not expressing yourself, you might feel tightness in your throat. Like there might be like a different area in your body that you feel it, but just bring more awareness to what you're feeling and experiencing, and that is surrendering, or soften your body even like 2% more. Because normally like we have our shoulders like tensed up like this. So if you just like notice, oh, I'm tensed up, like maybe I just relax my shoulders a little bit or like breathe more into your belly. That will help you soften. Like, so just think soften. If you're like, oh, I don't know how to welcome my emotions, why don't you just soften? And your body already knows how to dissolve emotions when you're not in resistance. So I would say soften.
Yeah, yeah, I
Mhm.
love that because people don't realize like our body's talking to
Mhm.
us in a way that if we actually pay attention, it'll tell us like, hey, something's not right. We need to move forward in a different manner. And when we are dealing with certain things and we are resisting, it stays in our bodies. You know what I mean? It lingers in our heart and it lingers in our liver. It lingers in our it lingers in every part of our organs. I mean, why
Mhm.
do you think cardiac arrest is getting higher percentage of deaths and fallout because of stress, not because of your clogged arteries, not because of that cheeseburger, not because of that steak. It's because of that stress that you're not dealing with, and it's continuously moving forward. Oh my
Mhm.
goodness. Yeah, I think more people most definitely need to think about this. So I gotta ask you, what are three things you are grateful for? I know
Ooh,
just three. I know this could be a
only
whole
three
list, a whole scroll could be going down the aisle, right? But if you could only choose three, what could be those three?
that I healed from depression,
Hmm.
that I'm doing work I love now and no longer working
Hmm.
as an engineer. That's like a really big deal, something I prayed for. And that I'm just like, I have more freedom in my life than most people. Like, I actually am at a state where I can choose anything. Like, I don't feel like I have to do a single thing. Like, that's how much freedom I have. I'm very grateful
That's
for that.
Yes, that is a blessing. Oh my goodness. And I'm so glad that you're so honest and was like, yeah, most people don't get this, but at least I can acknowledge this and say that I can, and I applaud you for that because I wish more people can see their blessings. You know what I mean? See the opportunities that they have that other people don't unfortunately have or may not even know is available to them. You know what I mean? Because they are just stuck in their pain. So, oh man. So do you know anybody that is stuck in their pain right now and is kind of in that resisting mode? And if you do, like, what is one thing that you always say or do by them?
Yeah, I do. And I've actually started to learn that what they need is compassion and not for me to tell them what to do. Because it's easy for me to be like, oh, this is how I healed, do it too. But at the end of the day, what helped me heal was giving myself compassion and presence. So now I've realized that that's all that my friends need. They don't need my advice. So I've switched it up. And now when they're telling me how they feel, I just go straight into having compassion for them instead of
Yeah.
telling them like, well, you need to stop resisting what you're feeling and you need to welcome your emotions and like that's not
Yeah.
what they want to hear. And people tried to tell me that too back in the day when I was trying to heal from depression. Like I remember a song came on the radio that reminded me of my ex-boyfriend and like I asked my friend like, "Hey, can you change the channel or like turn it off?" And she's like, "No, you have to feel this." But she did it in like such like a tough love kind of way and like I wasn't ready to welcome my emotions at that point. Like I had to do the distracting thing and realize that it doesn't work for me to even be willing to like feel that much pain. Because like, why would you be willing to feel your pain unless you knew what it's creating and like how much more peace it's going to create? So yeah, I don't tell people what to do anymore. I just give them what they actually need, which is compassion.
Oh my goodness. Yes. I think more people need to realize that because we can step into arrogancy and to this pride and to this, oh, I'm better than you position by just being like, you should do this, you should do this, you should do this. But it's like we need to remember, like, we were at a place in that moment where things weren't working for us. We were at a place at one moment that, like, oh, man, I couldn't just roll out of bed. You know what I mean? So it's just like, when we lean into empathy and when we lean into compassion, we really lean into understanding. And that takes us from arrogancy to understanding. And when we have that understanding, it truly makes us relatable. It makes us realize that we're not alone and the other person's not alone. And it's like, you know what? One thing because I used to be the same way, just like you, girl, just like you. I used to be like, okay, well, you need to fix yourself because obviously what you're doing ain't working. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I ripped off that band and like, obviously you're the problem. You know what I mean? Maybe you should fix yourself. Or you know what? Like, I remember one time I even said, because somebody was like, can you change the song? Because I don't like this song. It brings me bad memories. I was just like, that sounds like a personal problem. And maybe you should just get over and stop attaching yourself to these things and to these songs because it's just a song. Like, I can't believe I said that to her, but you know what? I give her love because she's still in my life. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, I realize like that doesn't help anybody. It really doesn't. So it's like now, whenever I'm around her, I just be like, you know what? At least you woke up today. At least you brushed your teeth today. At
Mhm.
least you are still living and alive, and I'm grateful for that. If you can't do anything else, then hey, at least do something minimal. And one day she was just like so upset because she was felt so overwhelmed with work and school and everything, and I was just like, hey, do one thing and do it very well. And if that's the only thing that you do today, at least you did it very well, and that's all you need to worry about. And she felt the most peace and the most love, and it's just like compassion, just showing compassion literally flipped the switch of my life and the relationships around me just by putting that in because my arrogancy was getting the best of me. You know what I mean? And it gets the
Mhm.
best of everybody because we don't realize we're being arrogant until like we reflect back and realize, you know what? Maybe I shouldn't have said it like that. You know what I mean? Like we all have those moments. And man, Alicia, I feel like we could keep talking about this and so many other different avenues and jump in that rabbit hole, but time is truly catching up to us. So what can be some lasting words to leave us off with to keep on thinking?
I think what we were just talking about, like giving yourself compassion, I can't even tell you how much more that creates in my life. I get more done and I heal way more and way faster by giving myself compassion because most people think, no, I need to be tough on myself. If I'm not like being hard on myself or forcing myself, nothing's going to get done. I'm not going to heal. No work's going to get done. And I have found it's complete opposite. Like if I'm like, Leisha, you don't feel like doing anything today or ever, or you don't want to do this ever, I still love you and it's okay. And then I always have the energy to do that thing. And whenever I feel like dense emotions, like, and I'm just like, it's okay that you feel this way. I always feel better. Like it is just the key to everything is giving yourself love and compassion and presence. And try to do it in a way that like actually resonates with you because you might think that like that sounds fake, like to give myself love when I'm doing something that I think is destructive. So to give yourself understanding then. I understand why you wanted to do this destructive thing because you felt lonely or you felt like unwanted or so no wonder you would do that. That's a way to access compassion is try to like really understand yourself and why you would make that choice.
Yes. Oh, I love that. Oh my goodness. That's absolutely true. It's like when we do that for ourselves and we move in a manner that comes from love, mm, it changes a whole different avenue because it's no longer, oh, I'm manipulating or I'm being mean to myself or anything like that. It's just like, I'm just trying to love you and let you know it's all right. It's all right. Like, yeah, I'm with you because today I didn't feel like working out because I felt overwhelmed and I felt already stressed out and I just like, oh my goodness, I got so many things I still have to do. But I know if I add working out, it's gonna stress me out. So I'm just like, you know what, Mitzi? It's okay. You worked out yesterday. You worked out the day before. It's all right. If you don't want to work out today, fine. Don't do it. You can do it tomorrow. And I just sat there and I didn't feel guilty. I just breathed and relaxed. And I told myself, it's okay. I still have another day, and that's tomorrow. But today, I'm going to be present and I'm going to be aware and I'm going to do the best I can. And as long as I do the best, then I am okay. And I think that changes the whole entire game for forever. So it's just like when you're trying to surrender your pain, in reality, you're just trying to be kinder to yourself. And we really need to learn to be kinder to ourselves because, man, so many people can be so nice to everybody else, but when it comes to themselves, they are nasty. They are just cruel and unusual. And it's just like, no, be kinder. You deserve it. You deserve the love that you share. You deserve the compassion that you share. Oh my goodness, you deserve it all. But it just, you got to believe it. You know what I mean? We really do got to believe it.
Mhm.
Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious, ladies and gentlemen, that's the show. And it's sad because, man, I feel like we really could keep on talking. But, ladies
Mhm.
and gentlemen, if you want to know more about Alisha, because how could you not? Please go check her out. I have her website. If you're listening in audio and you're on YouTube, in the description, you'll find access to her website that has such great content. Or if you're on my website, you can find her lovely photo. Click on it, boop, and it goes straight to her website. She does have so much great content, so many great books. Oh my goodness, so many great books so that you can continue on thinking. So, with that being said, bye.